Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you like this explanation, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you can stay alert for all future updates. Today we're going to talk about the differences between a squat and a deadlift. So very similar movements, but there's some key differences. And when we're in the middle of a workout, sometimes we can get them too confused and then not be performing the correct exercise. So let's go through the main differences of a squat versus the hip hinge deadlift motion. So with a squat, it's going to be a movement that is initiated by us bending at the knees first, whereas a deadlift or a hip hinging motion is initiated by us bending at our hips first. So sounds pretty straightforward, but when we're in the middle of a workout and an exercise, we can get a little confused. So I'm creating this video for you to show you the differences of each. Okay, for a squat, you want to make sure to have your feet about hip distance apart. You can have them a little bit wider, depends on your comfort zone for your squat. We're all a little bit different. I personally like to stand with my feet a little wider than hip distance apart, and my feet turned out a little bit. My core is engaged here, so I'm standing up nice and straight. I'm not arcing my back or rounding my shoulders. Chest is up and down. Tuck my pelvis in a tiny bit and squeeze those glutes to keep this all neutral and engaged. Then by beginning to bend at the knees and keeping my feet planted on the ground, that is, do not let your toes rise up, and press through the entire foot. Don't press through the heel, the entire foot. That's very important. All right, and then bending at the knees first, squat. So notice my knees bends first, and then my hips come up. Now, if we look at a deadlift dash hip hinging motion, I'm gonna make sure to stand with my feet hip distance apart, unless you're doing like a sumo deadlift, but that's different. Hip distance apart here. Now you want to do the same cues in terms of keeping your body nice and straight and engaged. So find that neutral core, tighten up those glutes a little bit. And to practice the hip hinging, simply place your hands on your thighs, and you're going to initiate the movement by bending at those hips first, slide those hands down, and then your knees and back up. So notice my hips come back first and then my knees bend and up. So it's like somebody's pulling you by the waist, you're bending here. So this is the hip hinge. All right, now let's take a look at both of those side by side so that you can see the differences in the movement together. So that's it. Those are the differences between a squat and a hip hinge. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you liked this explanation, and subscribe to my channel because in the future I will be having videos on exactly how to perfect your squat form and your hip hinging form, especially if you can't keep that back neutral or if you've got butt winking. All right, thank you everybody, and I'll see you for the next workout.